Tappei has just released Arc 9 Chapter 20, and this video will be a summary of the chapter. Highly recommend you check out my Arc 9 Chapter 19 summary. Anyways, let's begin. A light shines through the darkness. Hope glimmers in my chest. I thought I knew you weren't strong. I pecked away for each second you gave me, not knowing what was sacrificed for that 1 second. Emilia? Cold water is thrown over my heart. The darkness parted, and a face I shouldn't be seeing was there. Amethyst eyes, silver hair, beautiful. Beyond the veil of the most detested being was the person I loved the most. Freedom is stolen. Then a white cloth was wrapped in light. I screamed, "Stop!" louder than before. I wished it would stop, though none of it mattered. I will definitely save you. That determination and vow in your heart, you, Natsuki Subaru, were killed by me. The scene changes. Al was smashed and was sent flying by a fist the size of his own head. A large pig-like man in a suit hit Aldebaran, stating that Al shouldn't be squealing like a pig. Ye then asks if the pig man's arm is going on the dinner table tonight. With that, the pig man's arm was diced into small cubes. The pig man says that his men can eat it since it's high in fat. Ye says that she loves genocidal jokes and recommends they stew it because that's good for fatty foods. Aldebaran survived the attack, but his head was cracked and there was probably some things sloshing around in his helmet that should not be there. Al then calls out Ye's name, and Ye's wire cleaves Aldebaran's head off his body. Al's vision then spins, and he thinks that this is where it starts. By the way, fun fact, this is exactly what Subaru did in the Greed story with Elsa. He would tell Elsa to cut off his head, and Ye is doing the exact same thing here with Aldebaran. The scene changes. Algoa! A small flame appeared. Al realizes that this Algoa is fake. He tries to tell Heinkel so he doesn't panic, but Heinkel panics and launches the tree. Al doesn't curse at Heinkel or at the thug for using this trick, but at himself for reaching the same fate. Al couldn't stop the enemy's momentum, and once again used Ye's wires to trap the enemies, but this time Aldebaran stood next to Heinkel. But regardless, Al was now hit from above. Even though he was on guard, the pigman launched Heinkel at a tree. Al was buried in the dirt, and his spine was damaged. Ye and the pigman fought, but Al couldn't see. How did the pigman strike him? Next, before Ye could even interpret the meaning, Al took the poison. Heinkel was once again startled by the fake Algoa. Al looked around, looking for his next move. 73 times. The matrix restarts where the fake Algoa rises into the sky. No matter where Al went, the pigman would always attack Al. In other words, his location is being exposed. No matter in the air, or the ground, beside a tree, near Heinkel, near Ye, or away from the battlefield, the pigman always hit Al. Even with Ye's steel wires, the pigman didn't care about losing limbs, meaning after they defended against one attack and destroyed one arm, there was still another arm left and 2 legs to deal with. If Al tried to gain information from the pigman would just say Al is squealing like a piglet. Al found that these opponents were troublesome because their minds were made up. They simply wanted to kill Al. Al had to figure out how they were being tracked. Even if they escaped, a second or third strike would come, wasting the 7-day limit. Al then used the thug as a meat shield, but both of them were smashed. Next, Al says. Algoa! Heinkel is once again startled. Al calls Ye and they both used the steel wires to launch themselves far away. Heinkel would probably be overrun, but this attempt is needed to test something. Ye swung through the forest like Tarzan. She was the only shinobi who mastered this silver steel thread technique. As Ye and Ao swung, they entered the smoke. Ao was having issues breathing, but Ye was superhuman, so she probably would survive. Ao says northwest. Of course he checked every other location, meaning that the target was northwest. The fact that he couldn't draw the winning card showed that he was out of luck. No, there was one time when he met her, but he lost her, and he didn't think it was a mistake that he lost her. He was glad to have met her. Ao and Ye breached the smoke, and giant stones flew at them. Ao blocked the attack with earth magic, and then Ye threw Ao further up into the sky. Ao looked at the target, Old Man Rom. Ao states that Rom is the tactician, and Rom has dialogue mirrors all around him. We see that Felt isn't present at the plains. Of course, taking Felt as hostage would be the best strategy, but she wasn't there. One of the three thugs, the larger one, jumped up above Ao and knocked Ao into the ground. He broke the fall with his arm, and his arm broke, but he says he saw what he wanted to see. Now it would be a battle of wits. He had to find a path to victory somewhere. The scene changes. The former strategist of the demi-human war, Valga Cromwell, tells them to not put more pyro wood as the enemies may take advantage of it. However, Old Man Rom was excited at the prospect of taking on this threat which threatened the kingdom. This would lead Felt to win the royal selection. At Pristella, all of the candidates got a boost for repelling the witch cult, but Felt needed her own individual achievements which were not related to Reinhard, the Sword Saint. Felt utilized members of the three criminal gangs to take advantage of the situation and win the crown. It was natural for Rom, that knew the truth of Felt's birth and the blood that flowed in her veins. He could have ran away with Felt, but he didn't. He stayed in the royal capital to shield her when danger came. Soon Old Man Rom would die, and so he needed Felt to become king so she could be safe. For that reason, he would take up the mantle to take control of a small army. Once again, Old Man says that it's a battle of wits between him and the helmet guy. The scene changes. The thug and the 51 other attackers were once again trapped by Ye's wires. Ao then walked up to the thug and searched his pockets. The thug says that he isn't into that, and Ye says that explains why Ao isn't into her body. Ao explains that it's about the mirror. Old Man Rom essentially was connected to the different groups using the communication mirrors in real time and could provide updates on Ao's location. Ao then found the thug's mirror, but Ye and Heinkel, who were searching mirrors on the other soldiers, also found mirrors on them. Ao was confused. Producing a meteor like this was possible, but very costly. Why were random soldiers given dialogue mirrors? Ao realized it must have been decoys. There must be one real mirror and the rest of them are fake. He then swallowed the poison pill, and at the same time he was smashed with a fist. The scene changed. Ao then takes the thug's mirror and breaks it. This was the real mirror. The other mirrors and the other soldiers were simply fakes. By destroying the real mirror, that should buy time. Heinkel then asks if they should kill them. The thug looked at Heinkel. The thug hated Reinhard. The father of Reinhard supported Priscilla, but Reinhard supported Felt. Reinhard probably didn't think much of the thug, but they had a very similar background. Both were born into nobility. The thug left his family and ended up working for Felt, whereas Reinhard stayed with his family. There was one difference. The thug's father was respectable, but Reinhard's father was not. Why did Reinhard care so much about his father? His father was not respectable. was not worthy of respect. The thug chants Goa, and this time Heinkel was not caught off guard. He knew it was simply a fake trick to catch him off guard. However, the thug thinks of Ezo's words, where Ezo told the thug that he could reach his steps if he wanted to. If he just continued at a steady pace, he could reach his goal. Previously, the thug used a Goa spell, but disguised it as an Owl Goa spell. This was what initially went up into the sky, and it was the reason why it was a very weak spell, because in reality, it was simply the Goa spell disguised as the Owl Goa. So if the thug could do that, that means he could do it in reverse. He could disguise an Owl Goa spell as a Goa spell. He fires the spell and Heinkel slashes at it, and the embers split apart before exploding, burning everyone. However, that's what should have happened. But Owl intercepted it and crushed the small embers of fire before they could explode. As if the helmet guy knew what was going to happen, the scene changes. 264. Owl stopped the grand magic spell from going off. If he failed to stop it, he would have severely been burned and everyone else around him would have been injured, making the fight impossible. Using an attack like this, however, was meaningless in front of Owl. It was truly pointless. However, the thug tried to cast Owl Goa again. Owl tells him to stop and prevents the attack from going off again, and he starts beating up the thug, but the thug doesn't give up, and Owl continues to beat him. Ye starts to sever the thug's neck and says they should kill him. However, Owl tells her to shut up before encasing his fist in stone and punching the thug in the head, knocking him out. Heinkel tries to talk, but Owl tells him to be silent. The pigman appeared, but this time he didn't attack Owl, which means that the surprise attack was now off the menu. Owl redefines his matrix, essentially giving himself a checkpoint. The pigman again appears with his own squadron. It was round 2. Old Man Rom doesn't know what happened to the thug's squadron, as the communication mirror was destroyed. Owl destroying the communication mirror was of course the correct choice, but how did he know to do that? How did he know where the mirror was? It was as if Owl could see into their own minds. Rom was old, so he had experience, and he knew that those who would dismiss absurd ideas would simply be victims to those ideas. So, Rom barked some more orders. He said he wanted to confirm something. Both Rom and Owl knew it was a race against time. And with that, the chapter ends. Wow, amazing chapter. So Rom knows that Owl has some sort of mechanism to sort of see into their minds. So he's probably going to set a trap to see if Owl would sort of follow along. So I'm interested to see where this goes. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe.